Today's video is an unboxing of an order that I received from Atlas. Thank you all who used my code. Because of you, I was able to buy these items. Hey everyone, it's Kat here from Paper, Pens, and Coffee, and I am over the moon excited to bring this video to you today. I got a code from Atlas, I would say 6 months ago, and I've shared it here, and I've shared it over on IG, but I'm not like pounding in the pavement like use my code, because I know there's so many of us that have the code there. But I'm appreciative that Atlas gave me a chance to have my own code to share with my own audience. And speaking of audience, thank you and welcome to the ones that have just joined us. Thank you so much for subscribing. I'm almost to that 500 mark. It's in 4 years in the making. I know you're probably sick of me saying that, but I'm going to keep saying it. I have to put it out there in the universe. All this girl wanted was 500 followers. Anywho, thanks to you, whoever have used my code. You gave me some spending money, and I was able to treat myself to some items, and this is what we're going to share today. So, I have 2 new inks. When I said I wasn't going to buy any more inks, I don't have very many inks to begin with, but so that was okay. And then we have some Traveler's Notebook stuff. We have a Platinum Preppy, my very first one, and we have some books here that I'm going to start with that I have never seen before, but it's in that cute A6 size, and I thought, well, why not? Plus, the name of it kind of was fun to say, Puggy's Best High Stationer. And it says notebook, and then there's a little Puggy brand trademark, and it has this little doggy on it. It's only 66 sheets, and it is fully recyclable paper. I have never used this before, and I got 2 of them. And the only difference is one is in red and one is in black. So later on we will test fountain pens in it and other pens. So this is one thing that I purchased. Now let's go to the Preppy Platinum. I've been waiting to unbox this. I saw, I think it was Toasty Treats, she treated herself to one of these, and so I looked online and there was one that I really liked and it was sold out everywhere. So when I placed this order, Atlas happened to have some of them in, and then I changed my mind and thought I'd go for the purple one. So it's a Platinum Preppy. If you're not familiar with these pens, they are a pen that's made in Japan. And I'm not going to say it's basic or generic or cheap. It runs $13 for this particular one because it's a limited edition. Yet it's inexpensive, meaning that you don't want to spend a couple $100s on a fountain pen and then you happen to lose it somewhere or something, then it's not as devastating. So that's one reason I do not have any expensive fountain pens, just for that reason. But this one is really cool. I'm not sure if the camera is going to pick it up. I'm going to bring it down just a little. Hopefully it'll be able to focus. If not, I will insert a photo of what it really looks like next to it. But what's really nice is that it comes with one ink cartridge for you to start with. And then if you want, you buy the ink cartridges to refill and use. Or, according to the website, their Platinum converter will work in here. So we're going to see about that when I open these. Alrighty. So I'm not going to puncture this, but it is one of those that you would come in, and it shows you right here on the back, is that you would push this until it clicks. And then you would be able to reinsert it and start writing. It's a steel nib. And the only size they had was the fine, but it looks like it's going to be an okay one for me. I've tried to go away from fine nibs because it makes me write too small sometimes. So that was one of the things that I got. So thank you very much for letting me buy that. And just real quickly, I'm going to open this converter so we have it for later on. And this is what their converter looks like. I have converters for some other pens that I use. And this is one of those that when you insert it into the pen, then it's kind of a piston type of thing. Let's see if the camera will catch it. I don't know if it'll catch it on the white. But anyways, you stick the tip of your pen into the ink bottle and then you draw up the ink this way. And then you fill it full. Now mind you, a lot of converters, and this is what a lot of people, they say they're disappointed when they use a converter. Even though it's almost as long as the ink, you don't get as much ink in it as you would a full bottle, a full cartridge of ink. But that's okay. I like having the converters when I'm using them, especially if it's not one of my TWSBIs. It's not one of my TWSBIs, because TWSBIs, they have the ink in the base of the pen, so you don't have to worry about it. You can just fill as much ink as you want. But then there's some fancy dancy ones that they just use cartridges. But I'm glad a lot of companies have converters, so we were able to use them. All right, on to Traveler's Notebooks. I am loving my new olive one. If you haven't seen my new olive one yet, I will link it right here so you can go check it out. I am enjoying using it, and I bought these two on the off chance that I will be using them for certain things. When they brought out the Tokyo edition, all I wanted was the stickers, and I hem and hawed. And of course, as you know, if you're a Traveler Notebook aficionado, they sell out very quickly on their website and also the stores that are associated with them. So it was fun that Atlas put in, the one thing I like about Atlas is they put in things that are like sold out, but then they put an email slot saying, notify me when it's back in stock. So I got a notification that all of their Tokyo stuff was back in stock. I re-looked at their metal pen, and then I re-looked at the charms, and it just didn't talk to me. So I just let it go. But I really love the stickers. And it comes with 10 stickers total. And I have not been to Japan yet, but I have loved anything Japanese since high school, which is 30 plus years ago. And the reason is that my mom volunteered our family to be host to Japanese exchange students. They weren't in high school, but they were on a thing where they could leave their job or leave their university for a little bit and tour in America. And then we were supposed to get a like certificate. So if we wanted to go over to Japan for school or somewhere else for an exchange student, then we could. But me and my sister never had that opportunity to use it. But they're the first ones that introduced me to sukiyaki. And they also introduced us to sushi. And this is before, oh, come on camera. This one has a lot of foil on it. Oh my goodness. Wonder why the camera's not picking it up. There we go. See, it has a lot of foil on it. They introduced us to sushi and how to eat sushi. And this is way before sushi was very, very popular as it is now. So, and my mom loves the arts of Japan and has phenomenal artwork that she has done herself using the silks and kimonos from Japan in her artwork. So I thought these would be really neat to use within the next year on my Traveler Notebooks. So there you go. You can see them all. All right, now these two. Well, let's start with this one. This is an accordion fold. So you're not getting like the regular book of papers. It's an accordion fold, and there's many, many ways that you could probably use this. It's stark white paper, It's the first time I'm seeing it in person outside of the thing. I think Abby C uses these from time to time when she's traveling around in Europe. So the reason I got it is I want to be mindful and actually put my New Mexico trip together and do highlights. So it's really cool. Depending on what your imagination is, you can fold it out and then just do it all on one continuous thing, then flip it over and do it. Or if you wanted just like day 1, day 2, day 3, you know, then flip it however you want. And the cover's also white. I don't think it's made, it feels like it's made of the same material, but it might be a little heavier cardstock. And so that's the one I got. And if you're interested in that one, it's the 032 according fold paper. And then the other one I got, even though it shows in the advertisement on their website to use this while you're in Japan, I'm like, I love getting back into my urban sketching. I used to do it before it was cool, or showing it on Instagram. As I told you probably many videos ago, Instagram and I didn't meet until the late 2018, 2019. Anyways, this is a postcard, and it's the Traveler's Edition for Tokyo. This is a letterpress on the front. You can feel it, the indentations, and it says, write up your precious memories made in Tokyo on postcards and send them to your loved ones. And I'm like, oh, I could get this and store it away for that trip if it ever came up in my life, or I could just use it another way. And so it says, all the pages in the refill can be used as postcards by cutting them out on the perforation. The paper is made of watercolor paper, which is thick, water resistant, and has good color reproduction. You can draw the scenery you encountered on your trip around Tokyo, put a stamp on it, or write a memory on it and send it to others. Cut out the postcards can be sent in standard postcard stamp attached. Okay. So my thinking is that I can, let's see the very first page. Oh, this is cool. See, this is why it's like I was hesitant to get it at first, because it says my favorite things in Tokyo, which I could probably write anyways by, you know, vicariously living through watching YouTube videos of people that live there. Or I could just leave this blank. But this is really cool. I don't know if you'll be able to see it. Let me just show you the picture again because it showed a little better. That it perforates. So I was thinking, like, let's say I do a scene somewhere here in Wisconsin or somewhere else. I can write the place to who I'm sending it to, the date and month, but then I can write about it, you know, and it would be kind of a thing. Or I could do this and be selfish and keep it for myself and then tear these out and then put them in another book or something. So you get a total of, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So you get 12 cards. And then here it says, please enjoy asking people to meet to write messages or use stamps here to collect memories in your time in Tokyo. So if anyone is familiar with Japan and their love of having stamps everywhere, you'll understand that. So that's pretty cool. And then there's some more on the back. But the thing is that I figured once I used all of the 12 postcards, I could carefully unstaple this and use the cover to put together my own little traveler's notebook to use for journaling. So that is why I got that one. Okay, let's go back to our paper here. I have a few pens here. They're from a different companies. And let's see, let's get one so we can see. And then, haven't filled up the pen yet, so we're going to use this as for some fountain penning. So I am going to use this one, and we're going to do it in the back. And because it is 100% recyclable paper, I have created my own pencil boards, and we're going to slip one of these pencil boards underneath it just in case it leaks onto the next page. So let's bring down the camera so you can see. All right, so two of these are from Right Tech. I have enjoyed their pens. I used to be a big fan of the zebra ones, but then a lot of them were hit and miss if the ink would flow right, but I haven't had any issues with these. This is a 05 and this one's a 07. So let's do a little pen test here. Hopefully you can see it. I know I'm left-handed and sometimes I cover my writing. I'm going as light as I can. I'm usually not a heavy-handed writer. Let's see. Okay, just a little smear. And then let's write that it's a Right Tech 05. And let's see on the back of it. Oh, not bad. Not bad at all. Okay, that's impressive. All right, let's try the other Right Tech. Everyone has their own way of testing pens and writing things. And we're going to do Right Tech again and go 07. Okay, barely any smear there. And once again, not bad. Just a little ghosting, especially when you like color it in like that. Okay, so not bad. All right, this is the dollar store pen that Seaweed Kisses shared on her channel, and everyone went gaga over it. And it's a 07 too. And I really like how this gel pen has been working. Unfortunately, on some parts of the page, it won't write, and then when you're in the center of the page, it will write. It's kind of weird that way. So this is actually from the company Ink. Okay, not that bad of a smear all either. Oh, very good. I'm impressed. Okay, so those are gel pens. Let's see, mild liner, and this is my favorite olive. So we're going to use this, just a quick, like if we were going to highlight something. And then maybe we're coloring something in. Okay, no smear. And practically no ghosting either. All right, let's see. Once again, it says used ecological minded recycled paper. Okay, all right, here's a fountain pen. Sometimes on recycled paper it will feather, and if you're not familiar with that term, that means when you write the letter or draw something, it kind of spreads out in the fibers of the paper. And this is my TWSBI Ecot, or Eco T, I guess you would call it. So let's see. Yeah, I kind of see it that it's already feathering. Okay, put the lid on there. Okay, no smearing of that. It kind of feathered out, but it's not to the point where that would bug me. Let's see the other side though. Okay, so if I did use a fountain pen in here, I would then obviously have to just do it on one page, or do that thing where you glue and stick it down, so then you'd have a fresh new page. But I think this, I'd probably just use my gel pens. So that is the writing test for these notebooks. Okay, got that out of the way. Let's have some fun with the ink. The Renaissance Fair 2 years ago, a booth was selling glass pens, and I was very excited about it. This is like a no-brand. Oh my, you could tell it's been a long time since I've used this. I do not want to break the tip of it. Ooh, there we go. Let's put that to the side. It's just a generic one. And the reason I wanted it wasn't just for writing, but for like when you do ink swatches. This is a very old day-free Hobonichi that I ripped apart because I'm like, I'm not going to buy any more inks. So as you can tell, I had plenty samples because my collection's very, very small. I'll show you my collection if you're really, really curious. I'm telling you, this is how small it is. All right, this is my collection as I was just showing you. This one I got at Anderson Pens when they were still in Chicago, but they're now just in Appleton, Wisconsin. This limited edition I got at Atlas. This one, and this one I got when I was living in Portland, Oregon at Oblations, my favorite shop there. And then this one I got at, I won actually in a contest online. And it's from Colorverse. It's called Delicious Sleep. And then I found this beauty at a secondhand shop a couple of weeks ago. And of course I had to rescue it. So that's why I'm saying I do not really have a huge ink collection. I did have some samples, and I think I've mentioned those in videos before. And then I'm like, I'm not going to do any more. If I want to buy any of them, I'll just buy the whole bottle and then just use it until it runs out. So here's that Delicious Sleep one. So what I'm going to do is find I think, the very last page maybe. This one I really like too, the Linen Bar one, Cloudy Day. I have a little room right here. So we're going to clip this down and test these two. Okie dokie. Here we go. Okay, the first one up is Rabbit Oyster. They are a company in Australia, and they're very popular to connect with people that are having shops or creatives or artists, and they like make their own signature ink. Well, this one caught my eye because, not because it said Earth, but because of the swatch that Atlas had on it. This particular one is, let's try read it before I open it up. It is 1.69 fluid ounces, or for the ones that need it, 50 mLs. Okay, and it says it might contain pigment. So there's a little ink here. If you're not into swatching or haven't done it, there is no wrong way of doing it. No wrong or no right way of doing it. You swatch your ink the way you want to, however you want to. Even if you do want to do it, you don't have to swatch it. But if you are into swatching, find your style. Okay, there wasn't that much there, so we're going to do this. I like doing this part because I like seeing how it splatters. So very carefully. Ooh, I like that. It is green, and it's supposed to have some tones of brown, thus the name Earth. So while this is naturally drying, I'm going to take this pen, and what's really cool about a glass pen, and if you haven't seen a glass pen before, well, welcome to the glass pens. A lot of people use them for different reasons. I use them primarily for swatching, because instead of filling your whole fountain pen or just a little, you can just do it this way. So what's really cool is that the ink is grabbed upon all of those little things of the ink inside the glass, and then you can just write with it until it runs out. So I just do things like this, and as you can tell, there was a lot of ink right here. And then it kind of thins out. So I twist it just a little, and as you can see, it's getting thinner and thinner as I use it, because the ink isn't as full on those little spiral things. Pretty cool. I'm so glad I got this. I think Eliza Journals would like this one because she loves the color green, and there's a lot of green in this one. So I'm going to, and see, then it's easy cleanup when you want to do more than one swatching at a time. So So let's see if the camera doesn't really pick it up, I'll try to make a still shot and then put that when I edit this for you guys. So as you can see, as it dries, there's like green outlining, and then in the center is like this beautiful brown. Okay, so that's that color, earth. Okay, and then the next one I got because it was a gray. As I mentioned, I showed you one of my grays. I really like the gray ink. Different from having, oh, whoa. I did not know there was shimmers in it. Oh, this is going to be fun. The name of it is called I'm a Cat. And it's under, if I'm pronouncing it right, Saki Natsumi. And it's the company of Wearing Ju. Oh my gosh. I will type it out. I apologize if I cannot pronounce your name. And this is made in Korea. So this is a Korean ink, and it is 30 mLs, which is usually an average size of an ink bottle when you buy a full bottle of ink. Like this one. I think this is 30 mLs. And I know this one is. Oh, this is 40. So look, it doesn't even matter the bottle. This one's just a little larger, you can tell. 40, 30. Okay, so look at, oh my goodness. Hopefully you guys can see that shimmer. I did not know this was a shimmer ink. Let's see, there is a card in here. Okay, so this is a swatch card. This is cool. I'm going to put this in my traveler's notebook for sure. It tells you everything. And they call it a glistening ink. And then on the back, it has it in Korean, but then also here it says, do not use the ink for other usages except for writing and drawing on paper. Do not drink or eat the ink. Be sure to seal the cap firmly after you use. Please keep the ink where kids cannot reach. The ink should the ink should avoid fire and direct sunlight. Inks with glitter may have to be washed periodically. Inks with glitter have to be washed periodically. Also, glistening inks are not recommended for expensive fountain pens and extra fine pen nibs. Okay, and the reason they say that is if you have an extra fine pen nib, this isn't an extra fine, this is a broad one, is because the teeny tiny particles might get stuck as it comes down into the point. And then expensive ones, you know, if you have a fancy dancy one, you don't want to ruin it. But I've used shimmering inks or glittering inks before in my big or Twisby one, so I'm not afraid of it. Okay, let's see. I am a cat. Okay. Alrighty, I'm going to do the thumb thing again. Let's see. Ooh. Alright, it just stopped. I apologize. I didn't realize I was talking already for a half hour. This is going to be a long video. Okay, see how it's sparkly? I bet it's gray. So, I'm going to move it this way. I'm going to dip a little into the pen in there. We'll do the same thing. We'll start over here. Very cool. Now I tilted it up, and as I tilt it up, you can probably see how a lot more of the ink runs down in the crevices there. Here, we'll just do a little right here and then all right, let's clean that off. Okay, I'm going to put the cap on so it doesn't spill, because that would be a very expensive mess. And then I always put the little rubber stopper that this came with back on, and then I put it back in the box that I designated it for. Okay, let's check this out. Oh, this almost looks like an eyeball right there. Okay, I don't know if the camera's picking it up. Once again, I'll probably put a still shot so you guys can actually see it. There's some gold in there, and then see how it's like a cloudy gray and then a dark gray? Very, very cool. I'm going to just smear a little of this so you can see it. So that is the one that's called I Am a Cat. Alrighty. Okay, since my cat was a glimmering ink, and this is an extra fine or fine nib, I decided to fill it full of earth. So I took the converter and I filled it full of ink. And then you just stick it on firmly this way. And then you screw this back up. And let's see. Sometimes when you have a new ink in the converter, it takes a little bit for it to go. So sometimes what I do is I just twist it down just a little to get some of that air pocket out of there. And then you can use it. So let's see if I can find a little space here for you guys to see it. And what's really cool about inks like this, like the earth ink, as you saw over here, because of the different colors, every time you write with it, it will look different each time. So this is what the preppy pen looks like with ink in it. That is it. Down below I have put my code for Atlas, so if you want to save 10% on your next order to Atlas and give me a little spending money, that would be phenomenal. If you don't, that's okay too. I'm just so glad that you're here and that we were able to share this unboxing from Atlas Stationery. I'll catch you in the next one.